just wanted to ask, how do you make the distinction in your mind whether a piece is going to be commercial, limited edition, or one-off?
That's a very good point. I think it's sort of, well, some of it's to do with price. It just, you know that some things are, you know, like a fine that's going to be pavé set can only be a certain amount. So it's going to be probably part of a collection.
I meant, maybe I should
in your mind, okay.
Question. I meant in terms of, like, maybe just before you pick up your pad and your pen and you're about to sketch, the idea is just kind of bubbling in the ether.
Yeah.
When you...
I don't take ether, by the way.
When you have that first, like, kind of nexus moment,
yeah.
Is that when you decide, oh, this is going to be commercial, or it's going to be a limited edition, or is it more organic?
If all things were equal, yes, but it doesn't really work like that. So, for instance, with the garden ring, the secret garden ring, the stone is a one-off. Mm-hmm. It can only be a one-off because, you know, I'm not going to be able to get another 32 carat, you know, Prima green tourmaline. It's just not going to happen. But I could see it as part of a little kind of, you know, when the Elizabeth thing came along, I thought I can't make, you know, 5 Elizabeths, but what I can do is do other ones. So let's just try and think how many we can do without it being sort of ludicrous and, you know, falling down to doing, you know, a bus driver with whatever it is. So we'll just try and, so that would always be a sort of a kind of a collection of one-offs. I mean, I don't ever sort of, these things aren't written in stone unless we say, we do a thing called an imperial edition, which is 5 of the same thing in different permutations. So, for instance, that cross you saw there, which has the Malay garnet in it, we did one in red gold with Malay garnet, one in white gold. So it's the same thing, but, you know, because hand making that was just going to be too frighteningly expensive, and we could at least kind of take a bit of so some of it's a little bit of kind of commercial savvy, some of it's just circumstance, you just can't. And then sometimes you just think this is a great idea, we can make hundreds of these. So with Alias, which is the silver collection, I'm sitting down all the time saying we're going to have to make, you know, 5,000 of these or something. It's got to be something that really holds its kind of look through that, you know, and it's a different thing. It's designing a much more kind of like designing a pair of shoes rather than, you know, designing a piece of jewellery. So it's normally force of circumstance, to be honest. But sometimes I just think this is such a good idea that we should do lots of them rather than just make it, you know, once with a big diamond or something.
Then we've got time for